A lot of organizations that have come together to try to work primarily with chronic homeless people, and that's the street population. We've done a lot of work in that area called the Homeless Corridor. We've also done a lot of work throughout Clark County.
So really that's kind of where we're at tonight, is we want to go and we wanted to be able to show some of the work we've done outside of the corridor, because I think that's the big concern right now.
Hi, I'm Rich Panksa with help of Southern Nevada's Mobile Crisis Intervention Team. We're here this evening on A Street, which is in the Corridor of Hope in Las Vegas.
And I remember Linda, with Executive Director of Straight from the Streets, had came in with some of the folks that they had assisted on the F. and Wilson project. And the councilman at the time, he's now commissioner, Lawrence Weekly, had asked, well, you know, you guys are the experts in this, what do you guys think we need? And she had mentioned we need more outreach workers, we need more in case managers out in the streets. And as a result of that, and the approaches that she does, because she's really non-traditional, I think we've been able to kind of model our approach to chronic homelessness in that way.
The Mobile Crisis Intervention Team was called out here for a full-scale intervention. We brought a multi-agency approach down here with Southern Nevada Adult Mental Health, representatives from WestCare, case management from the Mobile Crisis Intervention Team. And we actually came down to this street in the evening hours because this street is a street that had about 80 residents that were living on both sides of this street, from one end of the corner to the other end of the corner.
All these little areas, all these pockets of areas where there were homeless folks at, you know, those existed 3 years ago. Today, they're very, very minimal.
If you pan down the street over this way, you'll see there's absolutely no one left that's living on this side of the street. There were 30 to 40 people living in front of these businesses, and actually this side of the street was used as the restroom facility for the 80-some inhabitants that were here. This is the second half of A Street. We had filmed on the other corner, now we're on this side of the corner. There's no one living here anymore. There were probably 15 to 20 people living along this fence line that are no longer here.
It's a different approach, and I think a lot of people are still kind of skeptical as to whether or not it works. But you look at this, and you also look at the other areas that we'll be looking at, and you'll know right off the bat that something like this does work.
I think that the idea of a multi-agency type of approach is the reason we can be so successful, because we're all there at the same time, each of us has a piece of the puzzle, and then we just all get together, brainstorm, and figure out what to do now, and try to stay in the solution instead of being, you know, in the problem.
We housed most of these people. It's not as if we just swept them into another corner. We housed 15 people from this one intervention site and moved at least a dozen more into shelters or detox services while we were here. So our main goal is not just to push people to another corner, it's to get people into permanent housing and intensive case management.
This right here, I like coming here because it's nice and clear, but at one point you had tents, clothes, bottles, everything, just all over. This was done literally a year and a half ago, and it's still clear today, and a lot of that's due to the fact that you have the cities, you know, the different jurisdictions taking ownership of it and keeping it and maintaining it.
They actually came in, when we abated the area, they actually put the fence up, and
So this was
that actually makes it a lot nicer for us, because it sends a clear message that
this actually had a lot of people and families living here at one time in this area, and now you can see it's pretty well cleared out, partly due to the efforts of the outreach team.
There was tents all across, all around.
So everywhere we're walking, this would be tents.
You had tent pockets, I mean little tents around here.
Right.
For the most part, you had them all lined up across this fence right here on both sides.
Almost 100 campsites in this area and the adjoining area that we spoke about earlier across the street. This was a huge intervention in which just about every agency was involved. We were able to house many, many people that were here, and I believe we made a large impact when we did this one.
I mean, you're looking around and you're seeing things happening. It's just, I think the folks that aren't directly involved and aren't in the loop, they look at the main information and they think, well, where's the money going? You know, if there's these people people are still here. And the theory was, well, they come at night. You know, well, hey, we've just proven the theory wrong because we're filming at night and nobody's here. And it's 10 o'clock tonight.
It seems that people forget that, the work that we have done, and concentrate on the work that always still needs to be done.
No, the corridor doesn't look much, but if you really think about it, there were many corridors across the, you know, the counties and the cities. Just a lot of folks didn't know about them. That was just probably the most evident because that's where all the services are. That's where all the big buildings are.